What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What up? What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Getting everything together real quick. Getting ready for the stream. Y'all know me. Y'all know how we do. When is Hawk ever ready for a stream on time for the stream? I don't got my lights on. There we go. Now the lights are on. What is all that stuff back there? Hanger. Just stuff. I just have stuff everywhere in this room. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? Hope y'all doing good. I'm doing well. Let me see what y'all talking about. Range, what's up? Connie, what's good? Nah, Hairline Boy is crazy. I'm just messing with you. What's good? What's good? What's good? Ant-Man, what's up? How y'all doing? Ant-Man says, what does I love you mean? It wasn't really. Can't tell if you're being sarcastic. All right, how y'all doing tonight? Welcome to Hawk Soups Live. Happens every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live show where we just do a lot. Sometimes we'll play Purtle, sometimes we'll talk about news around the NBA. I'll give lists, I give grades. It's really just the opportunity to me to just hang out with y'all to talk about hoops, because that's what we do around here. Let's talk hoops. You feel me? And yeah, I'm happy to be here. How y'all doing? I'm doing well. Is this the third week in January already? Absolutely insane. Hey, Hawk the GOAT for real. I appreciate that. What does FY and FYP mean? For you? For you range? Is that what you're talking about? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do one thing real quick, because I didn't. Hawk, you said I love you. You didn't answer because of ILY. Doesn't it mean I love you? ILY don't mean that? No, that's not what ILY means. Well, let me put it this way. Back in the day when I was texting, that's what ILY meant. Oh man, you know what's crazy? In 2 years that'll be an accurate joke, because I will be 30. Well, not even in 2 years. Next year I'll be 30. I'm not ready for that conversation. I'm not ready for that conversation at all. Daniel, my man, what's good? Thanks for pulling up to the stream. How you doing today? Hope you are well. Give me half a second. I'm trying to set up the TikTok stream real quick. Y'all know I be all over the place. I spend all day getting notes together. You get the notes together. You throw it a thumbnail together real quick. And then you go, I need to title this stream something. And I think we're going to go back to how we used to do, back when we used to do it. I'm just putting all the topics in the stream. This is about to be an all topics back in the stream type vibe. I was trying to be all cool and, come up with titles and yada, yada. I'm old, y'all. I'm old. I just want to talk hoops. I just also happen to love social media. How has life been lately? Life is good. Me and the wife are well. Started a new job back in November. That's going well. And yeah, everything's going well. Daniel, no problem. You going to 7-Eleven? I'll be back in 20. By then, we might be halfway through the All-Stars. I'm just warning you. We might be halfway through the All-Star, but you'll see what trades I would like some teams to make by then. We might still be in All-Stars. Who knows? We'll see how this goes. Hold on. Tripod falling over. All right, let me yes, do have a wife, been married for a year. It was a year this past November. Won my first game. It was our first home game too. Hey, that's what's up. I miss hooping, bro. High school basketball was a vibe. We weren't nice, to keep it a bean. Like my team, we were not nice. But I wouldn't trade high school basketball for anything. I made lifelong friendships because I played basketball in high school. Literally lifelong friendships. Half my groomsmen and my wedding were my basketball teammates. So, you know what I mean? Appreciate you. Thanks, man. Thanks. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. We got the TikTok live going. We live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Got a lot that we want to talk about. My team is undefeated. 8-0? That's lit, little gaming. Thank God you didn't marry early because I hate seeing those 22 YouTubers have a family. Yeah, I probably, we ain't got no kids yet. Probably won't have kids for another at least 2 years. So you ain't got nothing to worry about me having kids early. You feel me? You ain't gonna worry about that. All right. So we got a lot of people want to talk about. It's been a lot of good basketball. Hopefully y'all enjoying the season so far. We're officially midway through the season. Almost every team has played at least 41 games. I think I saw maybe 1 or 2 teams that I just happened to be scrolling through, just looking at standings and stuff that might have played like 39 or 40 on the dot. But for the most part, for all intents and purposes for tonight, we're at the midway mark of the season. And I'm enjoying the season so far. Like I said, I hope you are. I know I really am. Hold on one second. I'm trying to talk to y'all, but I'm low key also trying to turn this game on. So I can watch it in the background. Spurs going to win the championship. Listen, little gaming. Listen. The Spurs, we do want to talk about the Spurs. But it's more so because I want them to trade away some people. They're on the list to talk about, but it's because I just want them to trade away some people. Let me move this over here. Let me close my 1,000 tabs. If you watch the stream often, or if you're an OG watcher of the stream, you know I be wilding out a little bit with my Google Chrome tabs. I be wilding. It was the other day my computer was moving a little slow, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on here?" I had, no exaggeration, 4 different Chrome tabs open. 4 different Chrome windows open, each with at least 10 tabs, So 40 tabs open in Google Chrome. It's going to suck the life out your PC. All right. I don't want to save that. Boom, boom, boom. Connie asked real quick before we get into it, what team has disappointed me the most? Honestly, I would probably say, and we're going to talk about them. The team that disappointed me the most, probably the Raptors. Personally, probably the Raptors. I had a little bit higher hopes for them than how they've been performing. I think I don't remember all the way, but I'm pretty sure I had them higher than they are now in terms of NBA standings. I'm just really, really disappointed in the Raptors right now. And some other teams that might come to mind, I know some people are disappointed in Miami Heat. I'll be honest, I'm not that disappointed in the Miami Heat because I was one of the people going into the season saying if they ain't really do nothing, so they're going to be disappointing. And now people are seeing that they're disappointing. I think the Heat actually might be on the docket to talk about tonight too. So Ant-Man, we've been talking about it in the Discord about the Oleezy on TikTok. What's good, my man? Ant-Man, we've been talking about the Hawks, the Raptors a lot in the Discord. I know Malachi Brandon, he not the real player, our mod in the Discord. He wants them to trade. This candle's dead. This one. I know he really wants them to trade Fred VanVleet. Fred admittedly isn't necessarily having the season that we expected him to have. So yeah, the Raptors are disappointing, but it's not all just Fred. I think it's just as a whole, the Raptors offense is disgusting. It's not really that much offense. Their offense is just, hey, Oleezy, that's what I like to see. Came straight from the TikTok right to the YouTube. Hey, that's why we do it on YouTube. That's the reason we even throw the stream up on YouTube. Throw the stream up on TikTok is to hopefully get a couple people to see the TikTok and just say, you know what? let me click the link in the bio and pull up to the YouTube. It's just a whole better experience. The audio quality is better. The visuals is better. I can see your comments better. I'll try to read the TikTok comments, don't get me wrong, but YouTube is where it's at. We'll talk about the Raptors a little bit more, but long story short, Raptors have really bad offense. They don't really have that great shooting. I know Fred VanVleet's not necessarily shooting the ball well at all, at least not what we've become accustomed to. For him to go from having one of the best seasons of his career to what we're experiencing now, it is very, lopsided. But we'll talk about the Raptors. But they are definitely probably the most disappointing team to me so far right now. Fred for hot Cheetos is nasty. I don't even know what you would get Fred for. I haven't seen a lot of legit non-trolly Fred VanVleet trades out there, because y'all know me, I'm not the trade guru. I can come up with some ideas of like the type of guy a team would be looking for, but by no means am I a GM. I'm just the dude with a mic and a camera who judges GMs after they make their decisions. You know what I mean? Random. Ant-Man says, Hawk, did you ever get in a fight at school? No, never. 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 The Hawks are exactly how I thought they would end up. I don't want to. I got to go back and look and see. Maybe that's what we'll do next week. I got to go back, re-look at some of my takes from the beginning of the season from this summer, because I want to say I also thought the Hawks were going to be kind of mid, but I don't want to say I said that and then I go back and look and I was high on them and I look dumb. But I'm fairly certain I also thought the Hawks would be mid, because I'm not feeling what I'm seeing there. I'm not. Trae Young started off a little slow. At times, their offense still looks a lot of my turn, your turn between DeJounte and Trae. I think, and shout out to the Kings, but the Hawks miss Kevin Huerter, bro. When I look at what the Hawks have, I always think, tags another shooter who can just kind of space the floor and be just a cannon for them would be amazing. And Kevin Huerter is having an amazing season for the Kings. Shout out to the Kings for picking him up. But he would be perfect for them right now. I think he really would be perfect for them. Oh, at first I said we were going to be good. Then I said we were going to be mid. And I think it was because I didn't know how the DeJounte, Trae Young backcourt was going to look. Very similar to how I said I didn't know how the Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy front court was going to look. It's very rare that you could put two guys of the same position that are so similar. I know there's different, but they're still so similar. I don't know. Kevin Huerter is in a great situation with the Sacramento Kings, for sure. Don't get me wrong. He fits in perfect there. But Kevin Huerter, to me, is the type of guy who honestly would fit in perfect for a lot of teams. His skill set is a valuable three-point shooter who can put the ball on a little bit, kind of sort of create those shots sometimes, just makes the right decisions. He's balling in Sacktown for sure, but I think he's the type of guy who could ball out with a lot of teams. Like, he's definitely balling, but he can ball with a lot of teams. Are you starting to consider what I said about the Kings this summer? I'll be honest, yeah. I'll be honest. Let's talk about that. We have notes. We have a whole agenda for tonight's stream, and we'll get to that. But top of the stream, because I feel like I haven't really done this yet, I want to give the Kings their flowers. The Sacramento Kings, right now in the NBA, are fifth in the West. They're 21-18. They are, I can tell you exactly. They're playing amazing basketball. They're probably my favorite young team to watch. I would say either them or the Orlando Magic, believe it or not, is also a really, really fun young team. But the Kings are a fun young team because they might mess around and win that game at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the Kings, honestly, are doing exactly what I thought they would be doing. And this summer, we all said, no, it didn't work. Hey, VR, hey, I know we're off topic. Try it lowercase. It should work. Try it lowercase. Let me see. All right, you right. We gonna have to fight. You got it because I swore I set it up right. I thought the Kings was gonna be not. I didn't think the things were gonna be poverty. I just thought the Kings were going to be play in. Truthfully, I thought the Kings were going to be playing. You know what I'm saying? Guru, thanks for pulling up. You might not be here for a while. It's all good. Hey man, pop in when you can. Pop, leave when you got to. Unlimited range. Thanks for pulling up. Sorry, I got home early. I'll be back to 15 depending on the house spent. That is wild. But yeah, so back to giving love to the Kings. I got distracted. I want to make sure I get their love to them. So going into this season, I said I thought the Kings would be like play in, might mess around and be that 11 team just missing the play in. I thought they were either going to be 10 or 11. When I think I did my full rankings, they were 10 or 11. And now they're fifth, right? Did I say fifth? Now, granted, it's very, very close in the Western Conference. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You mess around and lose 3 games in the West, and you can go from fifth to like, geez, you miss 3 games, you can go from 5th to 10th. So it's very, very close in the Western Conference, but they're right in the pack and they look really, really good. So I thought they were going to be a playing team. Is it impossible that they might end up a playing team? No, it's not impossible because, like I said, they lose 3 games. They go on a 3-game skid, and right now they would be a playing team. Like, that's how close the Western Conference is. But right now they're playing great. So shout out to them. They have the number 1. That's what I was looking up earlier. Because the one thing I said they would be this summer was an amazing offense and a horrible defense. Right now, they're ranked 3rd in offensive rating. They have the 3rd best offense in basketball and the 25th worst defense. So, but it leaves them with a net rating of 1.7, which is the 10th best net rating in the league. Now, I don't have the full list in front of me, so I don't know how close other teams are to them. But 10th best net rating, 3rd best offense in the league. It's kind of what I expected. They're just playing well, and they're scoring the ball well. They're playing good offense. They're just not playing amazing defense, and that's okay. They don't necessarily have the personnel for defense. Maybe they'll change that in the future. We'll see. But for right now, for what they're doing, they good. They good. Yeah. We're pulling comments. Can y'all not see comments on stream? Y'all should see comments on stream, right? Don't tell me I ain't been seeing comments on stream this whole time. Y'all lucky Weary and Rudy ain't here. Hey, we is lucky. Because they would not let me live this down. Weary and Rudy would not let me live this down. That's an excellent point. 3rd best is crazy considering how many offensive juggernauts there are in the league. That's why let me see. NBA teams offensive ratings. Because now you got me curious. NBA teams offensive ratings. Advanced stats, NBA.com. Per game segments, advanced. Finish loading. Offensive rating. It's crazy. So Basketball Reference might have been even a day behind because if you pull it up on NBA.com, right now, technically they're 4th in terms of offensive rating. But the Utah Jazz are 3rd. Keep it being, that would have surprised me. I would not have expected that. The Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics make sense to me. But right behind them are the Brooklyn Nets. New Orleans Pelicans are on their heels. Dallas Mavericks, Sixers, the Suns. But Sacramento Kings right there in the pack with some of the top 5. So it's amazing. It's really, really good. Oh, pinning for chopping it up. We did talk about that. I'm going to leave it like this for now because a lot of the times I try to subconsciously, because I don't know if I can. Yeah, you can pin the message. But if you rewatch it, I don't know. For now, we'll leave it on screen. For now, we'll leave comments on screen. For now. I might change my mind. But for now, I'm a let it rock. I'm gonna let it rock. See, Connie, this is what you got to understand, right? When it comes to VR, VR, right? He's helped me out a lot. He's helped the stream out a lot. He's helped the Discord out a lot. So every now and then we let him act big and bad. Every now and then. We do appreciate him though, because he does a lot for the community. He definitely does a lot, and I appreciate what he does because he kind of just literally just stepped up and said, "Halt, I know how to do this. I can help you." And I said, "Yes, please help me. Thank you. This is amazing." So we let him rock every now and then. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Top of the stream, what we want to do. It's a couple of things we want to do with today. I wanted to show y'all my all-star breakdown. I got my starters. I even have my bench, my reserves, everything. I don't have my injury reserves because I was trying to see who was and wasn't going to be available come all-star break. I'm treating this like these people are going to be there for the all-star game. I have a couple of asterisks next to a couple of names in case they're not there. I don't have their replacements. It's all right. But you'll see. We're gonna do the official ballot, and then we're kind of gonna just talk to the reserves. I didn't get time to put together a graphic. I do apologize. I got some ideas for a graphic later. We'll talk about that after. I have an idea for something I think I want to do for the next couple of weeks on stream that I think we're all gonna like as a group. I think as a group we're all gonna like it. Where's the Cavs on the offensive ratings list? The Cavs were 11. They're 11th in terms of offensive rating at 113, but they have 109 defensive rating. So I would assume, yeah. So the Cavs are the second best defense in the league and the 11th offense. That's amazing. Shout out to my Sixers, though. I ain't trying to toot my own Sixers horns, but we top 10 in offense, top 5 defense, and we've been dealing with injuries. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to beep. But beep. All right. Out of every NBA team, which is the best at getting their own buckets? Oh, I was trying to get rid of that. Hold on, my fault. Which is the best at getting their own buckets? What team is their best? That's an excellent question. If I had to just go off of like, I was just thinking about this. I was just talking to my boys. We were comparing two teams, and I said one team was like, no, I was listening to a podcast, and somebody brought up a great point about a team that was like a similar situation of like a team that has a bunch of guys who can get their own stuff. The Kings do kind of fit that criteria to me a little bit because I'm trying to think of the team I'm thinking of. I don't know if this is what you mean by that, but when I think of out of every NBA team, which one's the best at getting their own buckets, I think of teams who can all like swing. If the ball is swinging around the perimeter, everybody who touches it can put the ball on the ground a little bit, can make a pass, can drive to the basket a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But without further ado, let me pull my list up. I guess it could be the Celtics for that question. Because depending on the lineup, if the ball swings to Tatum, if it swings to Brown, if Malcolm Brogdon's on the floor, honestly, even like Grant Williams from time to time, I've seen him do a little pump fake and drive. I've seen Al Horford do a little pump fake and drive and make the right pass. It might be the Celtics. I don't know. The Rockets got some bucket getters. That is true. The Rockets do got some bucket getters as well. All right. So let's look at this all-star ballot. I'm actually going to submit my legit ballot. I haven't done a ballot yet. I actually really like the way they did the ballots this year. So previous years, I'm sure we all know this, it's always been on Twitter. And usually that's how I ever vote. I know I very rarely actually tweet out my own vote. I usually just retweet the Sixers tweets and stuff like that. Yo, Range, that was a crazy comment. But then putting it on NBA.com it's cool. This will be my first time voting. This will be my first time voting. People swear Marcus Smart don't got a strap. It depends what game it is. Because sometimes Marcus Smart, hey, range. I keep, you know what I mean? I keep my eyes on the chat. I try to interact with the community. You feel me? We a community. I'll try to interact. So my eyes is on the street. My eyes always kind of sort of on the chat. I've seen it. Yeah. All right. So if you don't know, and I want to put this caveat out there because we talked about this last week with the fan voting. It only counts for 50% of the starters, and it's only for the starters. The other half is split up between media and current players, each getting 25% respectively. And I know it wasn't necessarily y'all, but a lot of people were like mad, like legit mad at some of the all-star selections like at the bottom. And I'm like, bro, it don't even matter because they not going to make it regardless because it's only for the starters. All right, but let's get into this. So these are my starters. Share right screen. Boop. I'm actually going to move myself. No. Does this look weird if I put myself in the middle? That way I can at least, so you can see the full court. Nah, Range thought he was slick. Range did think he was slick. He tried to sneak that in. Range thought he was slick, but I seen it. I seen it. I mean, yeah, I did see the recent player vote, and it's crazy. I didn't even notice Kevon Looney was on there until afterwards. Let me just pull that up real quick because I want to say I had it. NBA voting results. So for if you don't know, while this loads, the NBA All-Star 2023. I need first ballot. Yep. So they're going to release fan voting results every week. Every Thursday. They did last Thursday. They're going to do tomorrow. And then they're going to do the week after. NBA voting closes on the 21st. So next Friday is the last day to vote. I think it's that Friday. Is next Friday? Is that a Friday? I don't have a calendar in front of me. But that Saturday? No, next Saturday is the last day to vote, I want to say. But that Friday, every vote counts as 3. So if you want to make a campaign to get your guy in there, next Friday is the day you need to go vote. Hawk is the new logo. That's facts. Wait, what the view? I'm voting for Kevon Looney. Nah, you do got to get locked up. If you're voting for Kevon Looney, you got to get locked up. You got to get locked up. Guru, yeah. I mean, if you want to drop your all-star selections in the Discord, for sure, I'll definitely check them out. Boop. There we go. All right. Let's do. Let me just start off by saying all-star selections are hard, especially the front court, because sometimes it feels like some of the best players are front court players. But then I go, well, all the guards are good too. All-star selections in general is hard. I didn't. If you have them, Mega VR, if you have them, repost them because I have not seen them. You voting for Donovan or Jaylen Brown for All-Star? So I see more people talking about the East, so we're going to start with the East. All right. Eastern Conference. We'll do guard first. My first guard has to be, for me, let me just take West off. Do guard. I'm looking for my mans. I'm going Kyrie Irving, first guard for the Eastern Conference. It feels weird to place him there because he missed time. But in the grand scheme of things, he didn't miss that much time. And he's been playing absolutely phenomenal. And if I was going to be honest with myself, there was no way I was putting another guard to start over Kyrie Irving. There just was no way. My second guard in the East. Oh no, yeah. There's no way they're giving you guys 2 guards starting in for Celtics. I get it. Olise says I'd personally love to have 2 guards starting, but there's no way they'd probably do that. And I get it. There's definitely no way they would do that. The second guard I have starting, it's got to be Donovan Mitchell. It's got to be Kyrie and Donovan. I was looking at the West. I'm dumb. Oh, I guess East would be on the right side. That makes sense. I don't know why I was looking over here all that time and saying East. So Kyrie and Donovan are my starting back cards. Starting backcourt. The front court for the Eastern Conference was the hardest. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Out of KD, Giannis, and Joel, Joel, and Tatum, somebody's got to come off the bench. Somebody had to come off the bench. For me, yeah, Jaylen Brown and JT, that wouldn't work. I knew that. I knew that's what you were saying. I don't think they would give that to you guys. Because the front court, even the back court, I don't see Jaylen Brown starting over Kyrie or Donovan Mitchell. I just don't see it. EJ Liddell, I'm dead. First front court spot in the Eastern Conference for me was obviously Giannis. MVP caliber season, completely understandable. The problem is with the front court, all the forwards the problem is with the forwards in the East, they're all having an MVP caliber season. They all are. Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, KD, all having MVP caliber seasons. So Giannis is my first starter. Tatum, for me, deserves to start. And then my third was tough. I went back and forth between Joel and KD. And I landed on KD. The main reason for me was to have Kevin Durant be the guy coming off the bench, for me personally, was although Kevin Durant is playing phenomenal, Kevin Durant is having an MVP caliber season. He's in the conversation for MVP for sure. His efficiency is out of this world. But for me, just for me, the reason KD was on the bench and not a starter is because to Joel, Giannis, and Tatum all felt like they were doing it all season long. Now, I'm not saying KD wasn't good to start the season. He was still great to start the season. But this last, I'll say 20-game stretch of this wild efficiency that we saw him go on was from this past 20-game stretch. So for me, that's why KD would come off the bench. Now, it probably won't happen in real life, to be honest with you. I don't know who's going to come off the bench. Because when we looked at the fan voting, at least last week, Joel had the slight edge over Tatum, but it was only by like 100,000 votes. It was very, very close. And then we got to see what the media and players decide. I'm very, very curious to see what the starters look like in the East, especially for the front court. Hey, Suns Geek, my mans, what's goody? I feel like I ain't seen you in a minute. I was just watching one of your videos. I meant to leave a comment. What were you talking about? I liked it. I don't remember what I was. I watch a lot of YouTube. But what's up, Suns Geek? Shout out to you, man. If you want to keep up with the Suns, follow Suns Geek. That's all I'm going to say. Siakam All-Star starter. I'll be honest, I thought about it for a little bit. Like the thought crossed my mind, but he didn't make the cut for the starter for me personally. That's an excellent point. Olizi, KD is hurt right now. But I will say at least for this voting, I picked players, even if they're currently injured and their timeline is kind of up in the air where we don't know if they're going to be back before or after All-Star break. I still gave them the nod only because, and especially a lot of times what'll happen is coaches and players and stuff, they'll end up as an All-Star if they're just happen to be injured at the time of the All-Star game. And then we get, obviously the injury reserves and this, that, and the third. I did not come up with an injury reserves list. This is just my official All-Star because I wasn't necessarily sure who. I got some asterisks for some people, and we'll talk about the people who I think might be injured when we get to them. But I don't necessarily know who is and who isn't going to be injured. From what I could tell, it's a lot of up in the air for some people. I'll give y'all talking trades in here. Unlimited says Suns Geek, I'll give you Kuzma for Dario J and a first. How about Kuz, Dario, and J? How about Kuz for Dario J in a second? Suns Geek, the only reason I actually low-key like that trade for y'all, the only reason the Suns might have to give up a first instead of a second is solely because Jay Crowder destroyed his trade value by refusing to play for y'all. Jay Crowder should have been playing all this time, man. Jay Crowder said it has been a while. Appreciate you, but I do appreciate you for pulling up, man. And definitely the love is always there. Jay Crowder screwed y'all for by not playing. He screwed himself. He screwed y'all. Like, I don't understand. I get wanting to be traded. I still don't understand the NBA world where you can just decide you don't want to show up to work. I'm still trying to figure that out. I truthfully, I'm still trying to figure that out. Nah, Steph in the all black arm sleeve was fire. I seen some. It's Jesus. It's funny that Suns Geek is in here as I'm about to say this. We all off track. I don't know, we all over the place. I saw Steph in the arm sleeve, the all black arm sleeve. It was dope. I also happened to see Steph in that all black arm sleeve against the Phoenix Suns without anyone in their starting lineup besides Mikal Bridges. I don't know how the Phoenix Suns are even still playing games. They running with like 6 dudes out there. So me and my boys were on Xbox. We playing 2K. We in the rec. That game's on in the background. I'm like, I'm not paying attention to this game. The Warriors should beat the Suns. This is a no-brainer. It might look a little odd and be a little rough because it's Steph's first game back, but I was like, surely they'll win. Somehow we checked the end of the game and the Suns won. I was so confused. I still got to go back and look and watch some of that game. The Suns had almost 4 guys in double figures. It was insane. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. I think I actually had that written down to talk about. Ooh. That's a good question. Finney Whopper asks, serious question on the YouTube side. How much editing do you put into your videos, and would you consider running a YouTube channel difficult? I'm thinking about starting one. I wouldn't necessarily consider starting a YouTube channel difficult. I would just say starting a YouTube channel has to be something that you really want to do, because it can be, it'll be some days when you're like, dang, I don't really know if you, like, when you second guessing yourself, you might be like, I don't know if I'm putting out good content, people watching my stuff. But you have to love what you like. Like, you have to love what you put out, and you have to love the whole process, from just turning on the camera and talking to yourself in your room to the editing to, like, I wouldn't say I do a lot, like, all the time. But when I'm like really creating content, when y'all seeing days when you seeing a couple of TikToks, a couple of shorts, and we streaming, weekly, and I'm cutting up the streams and posting it out, I'm doing at least like maybe like an hour to 2 hours of some sort of editing or something. Maybe it's just research, taking notes on something almost every day. And just pick up what you want to do. Like, exactly. I was about to say, Sunsgeek took my words. The next words I'm about to say, honestly, like, I know sometimes my setup can be a little intimidating to people, but that's just because I'm really a nerd and really love technology. So, like, that's why I do all this extra stuff. But I watch so many people who are really successful and they just record off their phone. They record, edit, and post everything from their phone. I would say if you want to do it and you love it, go for it, dude. That's my advice. All right, let's do this Western Conference real quick. Yeah, I did see y'all. James Jones finally signed somebody to a 10-day. It only took him forever to do it. And when I thought the same thing. I wasn't sure I didn't go back and look, Suns Geek, but I said to myself, I haven't seen, because of course, we got Woj and Shams on notice. Of course, we all do, right? And I thought, I feel like this is the first time I've seen the Suns do a 10-day, you feel me? But hey, same. I started off with, and also, fun fact, Finney Whopper, this is also a good point. He says he'll start off with a low quality webcam back in the day. If you want to check out Suns Geek stuff, he has a great stream now, great camera quality, great mic quality. He's a great streamer. But also, I've been like an aspiring content creator since I was 16 years old in high school, and I turned 29 next month. So it's like it's up and it's ebb and flow. This is probably my 6th YouTube channel I've ever created, but this is the first one that's, to me at least, ever gotten any traction. This is the first time we've ever created a real community and stuff. So, just, I say try it. and you might pick it up and you might let it go. It's been countless NBA seasons where I started creating content at the beginning of the NBA season and I fell off before All-Star break. That probably happened for 4 years in a row. So I say go for it. I say go for it. Range is an excellent question. Thoughts on DeMar Hamlin? I wasn't watching that. I was not watching that game live. Y'all know I'm not necessarily a football guy. I always make the joke. I watch 4 football games a year. The first 3 Eagles games, but then by that time the NBA preseason starts and I watch the Super Bowl. But it was definitely a very scary moment. And I'm happy to hear that he's on the road to recovery, at least, from what I've seen, some updates from like ESPN and stuff like that. He's on the road to recovery and, praying for him and his family and wishing him all the best for sure. Cause it's a insane like situation. And that's also facts. People do really just want to hear what you have to say. And I would say just be consistent with it because I'm the same way. Like I know I'm a little inconsistent. We ain't stream at all in November. And I think we streamed once in December. Like we took a month and a half off. But I'm saying me as a person who consumes a lot of content, when my favorite content creators take a break, I'd be like, dang, man. Like, so be consistent. People want to hear what you have to say. Western Conference starters. Here we go. All right. Hey, this little circle in the middle, this was genius. The circle in the middle was genius. Somebody on TikTok asked my thoughts on Donovan Mitchell. We're going to talk about him a little bit. Actually, no, we kind of already talked about him. I love Donovan Mitchell. That's my thoughts on him. I love him. I don't really have any other thoughts. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Just go for it, Vinny. Hey, and when you make it and you upload it, tag me in it, send it to me, something. I'll watch it. Go for it, bro. All right. Western Conference starters. Devin Booker's injury is going to hurt his all-star chances. But I was saying, I don't think you were here, Suns Geek. I'm going to still put people in even if they're injured. And we'll talk about injury reserves and potential injury reserves at the end. Nah, Jaylen Brown did not make the starting lineup for me. They got him listed at a guard. Donovan Mitchell for me was a lock. And Kyrie's really been playing really, really well. And I didn't see, to me at least, Jaylen Brown wasn't having as great of a season to warrant both him and Tatum being in the starting lineup. It's tough. It's tough. And to me at least, I know the Celtics are the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, but there's no team to me that is so far and head and shoulders. Let me not lie. Let me just go ahead and stop because I was about to lie to y'all. I'm going to stop myself right there because I was about to seem like a hypocrite. And you're going to see why in like 2 seconds. And y'all might hate me for this, but I could not do it. Starting at guard, Western Conference, obviously we're going Steph Curry. I'm going Steph. To me, the only other guard that's having a better season than Steph right now is the other guard that I have starting. That's Luka Doncic. The 2 of these guys are having MVP caliber seasons. Steph, before he went down with an injury, was playing amazing. And I think it might take a game or 2 for him to get ramped back up. He was like, I want to say 8 for 22 I saw in that game against the Suns, but it's his first game back. So we're going to give him some time. JB is underrated, and you almost got me. He is quietly having a career season. I'm not going to give you JB is underrated, though. Only because I know JB is going to be an all-star. He probably won't get All-NBA just because he's listed as a guard, and the guard play this season has been absolutely insane. But he could sneak into an All-NBA third team. And at the very least, he's an all-star. I just don't think, to me, that's not underrated. To me. I get it. And range, that's okay. A lot of people was having, when I asked this question on socials, the biggest conversation back and forth, well, honestly, KD was, I think, the main one that people were having discussions around on whether or not he would start. And then the other 2 people that were saying taking it out was either KD, and I saw some people saying, Joel Embiid, and I saw a lot of people saying Jason Tatum. We'll see though. We'll see. Listen, KD ain't in mine. KD ain't in mine. All right. Let's do. So the front court for the Western Conference was tough for me. I'm gonna be honest. The front court was very, very tough for me. I'm gonna start here at Jokic. That was an easy pick. I was like, okay, front court Jokic, he's balling. Might mess around and win 3 MVPs in a row. I know a lot of people are saying Jokic is having a down season and not playing as well as he's played in the years past. I don't want to sound rude and disrespectful, but the people who are saying Jokic isn't having as good as the season he's had in the past seasons, I know you're not watching Nuggets games. And I know for a fact you're just looking at his box score because his numbers, sure, are down a little bit, yeah, because he got 2 starters back. But when you watch the game, when you watch his impact, I'm campaigning Joel Embiid MVP all day. Like, Joel, my guy, y'all should know this. But if Jokic mess around and win 3 in a row, y'all not gonna see me complaining on here. I promise you're not gonna see me complaining on here. Hold on now, y'all having a good conversation in here. We're gonna put this vote on pause because y'all having. I like this is going. Hold on. You know who's really underrated? Bradley Beal. The most underrated star I've seen in the last decade or so. Stu played 33 games, barely talking about. I'm going to save that thought. I don't think it's personally, Range, I don't think it's a contract thing. It's not that Bradley Beal's underrated to me. I think people just rate Bradley Beal as a really, really good scorer. And it might not necessarily be his fault, but when the Wizards don't win games, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. It's tough. I didn't forget about Porzingis. I'll say that. I didn't forget about Porzingis. I'll say that. All right, rest of the front court in the Western Conference. LeBron James, obviously, right? LeBron's having a great season. Now, when I came down to this last person, I feel like we ain't gotta go deep on LeBron, right? Almost averaging 30. He's 500 years old. Is he playing as well as he played 10 years ago? No. But he's still playing really, really good, right? Now, this last starting spot, I was really struggling with. And this last starting spot is what made me say, I'm going to put injured players in. And I'm just going to talk about the injuries and just let it be what it is. Because when I was looking at these starters, you got Anthony Davis and you got Zion Williamson, right? Both technically right now are injured. But when I look at the rest of the front court in the Western Conference, to me, these two are the two deserving of that last front court starting spot, right? And then I said, do I want to give the Lakers 2? Like, I really don't want to give the Lakers 2 starters because no other team, because I did the East first and there were no 2 starters in the East. And I finished it out the West. And I'm like, nah, AD can't make it. The Lakers don't deserve 2 starters. The Lakers don't deserve this. And then I'm like, well, I mean, Anthony Davis was my depoy. You know what I mean? Before he was out, Anthony Davis was likely going to win his Defensive Player of the Year award. And low key might have walked away to win an MVP and could have won both, right? So because of that, Anthony Davis is my other starter in the Western Conference. Sue me, say what you want. Anthony Davis is my other starter in the Western Conference. And it was close between him and Zion. And the reason it came down to Anthony Davis in the end for me was A couple of things, honestly. He's scoring more than Zion. So if you want to say if it's an offensive thing, he's scoring the ball more and better than Zion was. He's defending way better than Zion. He's defending at a defensive player of the year level. He probably, if he plays enough games, he will make an all NBA team. He will probably be a finalist for defensive player of the year if he comes back in time and plays enough games. It looks crazy having two Lakers in the starting lineup. It really does. But in the same breath, I couldn't convince myself not to have LeBron James starting. And I also couldn't convince myself not to have Anthony Davis starting. The Lakers are just weird. Because if you have two guys who, no matter how hard I try, I can't convince myself they're both not starters, and y'all still on the bottom of y'all conference or towards the bottom of y'all conference, it just really says a lot. It really says a lot about your team as a whole. All right, let's see what they'll talk about before we get into the reserves. Yes, 500 years is crazy. Bron did make it into my starting lineup. Wheelchair. I thought about him too. I thought about him. If Z was healthy, see, that's the thing. Even if he was healthy, I don't know. Because if both Zion and AD are healthy, I'm probably still putting AD in the starting lineup. So I don't know. Finney says his all-star starters would be Luka, Shea, Bron, Jokic, and Zion. Luka, Shea. Shea over Curry. I'm not mad at it. I'm surprised, but I'm not mad at it. And then D. Mitch, Jaylen Brown, Giannis, Tatum, and B, KD, and Curry, very close honorable mentions. I'm not mad at that. Lakers getting two teams weird because it's a 12 seed, but they moving up. And that's the other thing, VR. So yes, we'll talk about this later in the stream. I got a whole thing I want to talk about parody in the NBA and how I think it's JJ Redick used the phrase, and I loved what he said. I was listening to, y'all know I love Old Man in the Three. Well, I also have Amazon Prime, and now they have an extra bonus episode exclusively on Amazon Prime called Old Man in the Three Things. And part of this a segment on this week's episode was they were talking about the parody in the NBA and how it feels super close for everybody and how almost every team feels like they have the opportunity to either win a championship, make a deep playoff run, or like 5 games away from like going from a 9 seed to the 4 seed. And he said, parody. Oh, what did he say? Parody distorts reality. And we're going to talk about that for a couple of teams. But yes, I clicked this comment because it's not a 1-game difference, but in the Western Conference, the Lakers, yes, are the 12 seed. They're 19 and 22. But then, for example, the Clippers, who are the 6 seed, the team that's wouldn't have to be in the play-in right now, are only 22 and 21. They're 2 games ahead of the Lakers across 6 seeds. So, you know, when I made these all-stars and stuff, I did my best not even to really care about standings because it really don't matter, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but like it really don't matter. It really, really don't matter. Hey, Olivia, what's good? Thoughts on DeJounte Murray? I got some... I don't hate the Hawks right now, but the Hawks are not a fun team to watch. I'll say that. All right. I'm trying to vote for you guys who might need the votes. Lori, Sabonis, Booker, SGA. I feel that. Like, it was some of the people I wanted to do, but also, yes, like VR says, the voting only counts for starters. Bench is 100% the coaches. Usually coaches, they be all right. Usually coaches be all right when it comes to placing teams where you want to place them. All right, so let's go over my bench. I don't have a... Why can't we turn injuries off? Exactly, bro. Why can't this be 2K? I don't have a cool graphic. Y'all know me. I'm the graphic guy. I like creating stuff, but I want a half decent way to show who my starters are. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I mean, my bench players are, because I want to kind of go and talk about this one at a time. But I did write it down, so I'm just gonna. It's in my like regular stream notes. I'm just copying and pasting it, and I'll share the screen with you all, and we can. Did that work? No. No, that's not what I want to do either. Oh, I know how we could do this. Let's do Phil Black. Perfect. All right. So now we're gonna let's do these bench players for the both conferences. Bench players for both conferences. Bench players for both conferences. Just waste the vote. It won't matter if you even vote with starters, anyways. It's not necessarily a waste for me because at the end of the day, it's all just fun. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, the NBA, basketball, NFL, NHL, MLB, it's all just fun and entertainment. You can argue us even watching those games is a waste, but you know, we be entertained by it, so it ain't a waste to us. You feel me? All right. So we got my let me make this a little bigger. We got my bench players right here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, all right. That don't look too bad. Eastern Conference, first player off the bench. Let me see if I can do this. Hey, look at that. You can see that very well. But what did I just do? I want to do like that. There we go. All right. First guard off the bench. Jaylen Brown. Well deserving. Having a career season. Some people to this day still say he's better than Jason Tatum. Like, that's how good of a season he's having. That's how good of a player he is. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. Oh, y'all don't seen the whole list. That's crazy. All right. Second guy off the bench. I got James Harden. Listen, some people might call this a homer pick. Some people might say he's not deserving of an all-star ballot this year. He's only averaging, I want to say 22, 23 points on some solid efficiency. It's not like the most efficient guy in the league by any means, but it's on par with for the rest of his career. If you know James Harden, you know he was never, outside of a couple of seasons in Houston, he was never like the most efficient. But he's leading the league in assists, and that goes a long way for me. First forward off the bench, Kevin Durant. He has the asterisk here because he's one of the guys who might be some sort of injury reserve situation. Because now when a Harden, Trey, Brown, DeMar ain't going to be all-stars. That's facts, Range. No, Range. That's the reality of the NBA right now. It's some guys who are playing well, and they ain't going to make the all-star team. It's some guys who a lot of people might think deserve it, and they ain't going to make the all-star team. Not to be a spoiler alert, but out of the people you just named, it's more than just Debo that ain't going to make my all-star team. But we gonna get to that when we get it. It's more than just Debo who ain't going to make my all-star team. Connie says, remember we talked about it, she said Harden averaged 23 plus. Dang, was this the beginning of the season? Did I predict Harden would average a little over 23? I want to say, he's at like 20, like 22.9, 22.8 last time I checked. He could be very, very close to that 23. The other forward in he runs forward right to guard. The other forward in the East is Julius Randle. Call me crazy, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Julius Randle this year. I think he deserves, to me, excuse me, that burp was not trying to let me go. Hey, she hates Shay. She was on the YouTube for a while. I love it. Appreciate you for pulling up. Yeah, and unfortunately, when it comes to, we're all over the place. I be getting some distracted. Julius Randle is having an all-star caliber season to me. I love what he's doing. I think he's playing really, really well. The Knicks have been playing well over the last, we'll say, month. They've been playing better and better. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And then the last forward, I really struggled with the last forward spot in the Eastern Conference. I went with Jimmy Butler. Excuse me. I went with Jimmy Butler. I thought he was deserving. Jimmy, to me, is like the guy who can be a superstar when he wants to, but he doesn't always want to. The Miami Heat aren't doing as well as a lot of people would expected him to be. They're kind of around where I expected him to be. But Jimmy Butler, to me, is still having an all-star season. He plays both sides of the ball extremely well. He is the engine of that team. He's the lifeblood of that team. There are other very important pieces for sure. Like Bam is a very, very important piece. But Jimmy, to me, still is the heart and soul of that Miami Heat team. And then, so if you don't, and then we got our two reserves, just any position, can be anybody. This is where I put Halliburton. I feel like that's a no-brainer. He technically might be the official leader, I think, in assists per game just because he's played more games than James Harden. I don't know if James Harden has played enough games to get into the official stats, threshold. But Halliburton is having an amazing season. I think he's well deserving of an all-star ballot. That Pacers team is playing way better than I think a lot of people, myself included, expected. To me, the Pacers are the biggest surprise of the season in my eyes. Tyrese is a big part of that, so shout out to him. And then the last all-star reserve for me, this one was tough. This was tough because I'm going to show you why for me this was tough. I'm going to put y'all in my mind where I was, right? So if you hit search players and let's filter and go Eastern Conference, because I want y'all to see what I was seeing, what I was trying to figure out, who I wanted this last spot to go to. Just Eastern Conference, regardless of position, right? So I'm looking at Joel. He was already made it. Giannis already made it. Tatum already made it. Durant already made it. Jaylen Brown already made it. Donovan Mitchell already made it. Kyrie made it. Julius made it. And Jimmy made it for me. And then I'll be honest with you. After that, to me at least, and when it comes to a reserve, with no position lock, it really is wide open. For that last spot for me, it's wide open. It could be Trey. It could be DeMar. It could be Pascal. It could be Zach LaVine. You can throw, I wouldn't throw Bradley Beal in there. I guess somebody might, but I wouldn't. It was wide open between those four for me. Pascal, Zach, Trey, DeMar. You can kind of have the conversation with Bradley. To me, he's missed too many games. Wide open between those four guys for me. And because it was wide open between those four guys, I started getting a little nitpicky, started looking at shooting percentages, started looking at, if we're being real, none of those guys, I mean, Pascal is a two-way guy, but none of these three guys are really two-way guys. All of their records are kind of the same, so it wasn't like one team's winning more than the other, which would have made me pick something. Because if you look, Hawks are right there, the Bulls are right there, the Raptors are right there. If one of them win a game and one of them lose a game, this can swap and go any other way on any given night. So it wasn't like a winning thing. So it was kind of like a pick your poison, pick your preference. And after all of this stalling, I decided to go with, for my last all-star spot in the Eastern Conference, I went with Zach LaVine. I think he's playing really, really well. I know I don't want to say started the season slow, but started the season not looking as efficient as we're used to Zach LaVine being. But for me, Trae Young started off the season even slower than Zach did in terms of efficiency-wise. Zach's shooting 40% from three on almost 8 attempts a game. That's super impressive to me. And honestly, that you can say that's the only reason I put him in. I already see the chat going crazy. We're gonna look at it in a second. I really, really, really did think about Pascal, and Pascal can make yours, and that's okay with me. Pascal can make yours, but for me, for Aaron, for Hawk, it's Zach. But he can make yours, but for me, it's Zach. Let's see what the chat got to say. Brain just saying, nah. Wrong guard. What guard would you have picked? Trey. I'm doxing you after the Levine pick. Send the Addy. Coming down to Gross Philly, we go throw hands. Trey. So let's talk about Trey. Trey, for me, obviously is in a conversation. And if it comes down to it, I wouldn't be surprised if the coaches pick Trae Young over Zach LaVine. That would not surprise me at all. And this isn't a prediction of who I think would make the All-Star team based on just what I think who would make it. This is, if I had a ballot, this is my ballot. I'm picking Zach over Trey. I think Zach's having a better season. And it's marginal. And some people might say I picked the wrong bull. That's cool too. To me, it was not clearly Pascal. But after not picking Pascal, it's Pascal. Can't believe you picked Julius Randle over Pascal. That's a good one. The only reason I picked that is that might be some recency bias in me. I'll own that. I can own that. That's fine. I think Julius Randle has been playing well enough that he deserved it for me. He really did deserve it from me. And that's okay. That's okay. I say all the time, we say this all the time. Yeah, I ain't gonna like every list I put out. That's just impossible. That's just impossible. Julius, I had to show some love too because he's been hooping. Pascal has been hooping too. He has been playing really, really well. He just might miss all. Somebody gonna miss. That's what I gotta say. Somebody gotta miss, and for me, it was Pascal. All right, Western Conference. We are all over. How long have we been going? Hour 7. Y'all cool? We rocking? We cool still? We rocking? We cool. Y'all seem engaged. We cool. I ain't tripping. All right, West. It's fun because I don't even remember all of these. I did this yesterday, but I don't remember all of these. After I done blocked it out, I don't remember what's underneath here. Devin Booker, first guard off the bench. I feel like that's pretty. Nope, it's already over. I feel like Devin Booker is pretty self-explanatory. He's been playing absolutely amazing. If anything, this absolute garbage fire that has been the Suns since he left, it proves even more that he's an all-star, to me at least, because the way they've been playing, dog water. John Morant, second guard off the bench. I also feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Grizzlies are tied for number 1 in the Western Conference right now with the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. Ja's been playing amazing. Ja is Ja. I feel like I don't need no more explaining. I am seeing y'all reserves pop up on my phone and the notifications in the Discord. We'll check that out after these. Since when was Pascal in the West? The other forward spot, this is where I have Zion. Another, I feel like, self-explanatory situation, for real. Zion's playing absolutely amazing. Hopefully he comes back soon. Hamstring injury, or no, right? Pulled hamstring, I want to say. Strained hamstring is the more appropriate term, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully he comes back soon. Because the way the Pelicans had been rolling, well, we might get the buyers and sellers, or I might push that the next week. We'll see how you guys, are feeling. In terms of attention span and lateness and stuff. The way the Pelicans have been rolling with Zion and the fact that BI hasn't really fully been back yet, and they were at one point the number 1 in the East, in the Western Conference. They're not anymore, but they were at one point. Like, just what the Pelicans are able to do. Yeah, they're 3rd in the East West right now, 2.5 behind first place. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Grizzlies on the 7-game streak. Good for them. Shout out to them. Other forward is where I had Lauri Markkanen, right? It's funny, Range. You asked it right as I put it up. PG-13 and Lauri for All-Star. I'll be honest, I don't remember the other 3 names on this list. So we'll be both surprised together if PG's on it or not. But Lauri, for me, was well-deserving. The Jazz, I think, were a big surprise team for everybody, especially myself. I had the Jazz, I want to say one of the worst, if not the worst team in the Western Conference going into it. Did not expect them to be good at all. And the reason behind it is, it wasn't that I said this team was trash in terms of the personnel, because we see that they're not. I just did not expect them to keep any of their personnel this long. I expected them to trade a lot of their pieces by now, and they haven't. I think they're going to quickly have to decide if they want to or not, because of where they are in the standings and the way the second half of the season looks like it might shape up for them. But to me, at least, Lauri Markkanen, All-Star, MIP candidate for sure. I don't know if I have him winning it all the way yet. I got to think about it, but he's definitely a front runner or finalist, at least in my mind right now, for MIP. All-Star nod for me. The last front court player, Sabonis. Shout out to the Kings fans. Sabonis, well-deserving of an All-Star nod. Like, not a doubt in my mind that Sabonis is deserving of an All-Star nod. I do remember at least this much. I'm going to spoil it. De'Aaron Fox did not make my team. It was close. It was another one of those Zach LaVine, Pascal situations where I think it was kind of wide open for a couple of these last spot in the West. I do think there is a world where De'Aaron Fox can make the All-Star team, though, since we are talking about injury reserves and stuff like that. Lauri being on there. Lauri being there, not Pascal. This different conferences. It's not the same conference. Sabonis, well-deserving. Once again, what I was saying was I think there is a world where De'Aaron Fox could get on there. Because if Devin Booker doesn't play and can't play, Fox could take his spot. If, I guess that's it. That's the only injured guard in the Western Conference, right? Kind of sort of would be Devin Booker, because Steph came back in time. So yeah, if Devin Booker can't play, I can see a world where De'Aaron Fox gets in. Which would be crazy if the Kings had 2 All-Stars. That'd be so dope. First reserve, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I feel like this is a no-brainer. A lot of people have him in MIP conversations. I think he's in the conversation. I don't know if he's a complete shoe-in for it. If you go by based off the criteria that happened when they gave it to Ja, then sure. But if you go off the criteria that I feel like the NBA's been going off for years before they gave it to Ja, I'm not 100% sure. Just because, to me at least, Shai was always nice. I got to take a deeper dive into his numbers. I'm sure we'll do, an award show later down the road in the season. I'm very curious to see how the rest of the season shapes out for some of these guys that are in conversation for some of these awards. But yeah. Shout out to SGA. He's one of my guys. And then the last pick, I'm looking at it here. If y'all was mad at the Zach LaVine pick, I know y'all gonna be mad at this one. I'm going with, but you know what? Before we do that, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna give you all my thought process again, because to me, this last spot was also kind of sort of wide open. So if we look at, if we go to we're gonna do Western Conference, right? We just gonna mark out the people we already said. So we gave it to Doncic, SGA's in, Steph, Bron, AD, Ja's in already, Booker's in already, Zion is in already, Jokic, Markkanen. Okay, and then it's like, all right, so we got Dame. I already said Fox ain't really in it. Already gave that away. Anthony Edwards, I thought about for a little bit, and I was just like, I don't think he's all-star yet, to me at least. He started off the season a little rough. PG, he's having a good season. He's in the conversation, I think. And then I kept scrolling, and I'm like, I'm not really seeing any other of these guys. It ain't that controversial to me, but I can see it being controversial to some. For my pick, for the last spot in the All-Star and Western Conference, I went with Dame. I don't think the Trailblazers are surprising or wowing anyone with their play. But Dame's still Dame. I see in a couple of moments. He just had a moment. What was that the other night? He had like a fourth quarter where he was going crazy. Sometime last week, I cannot remember. Admittedly, I did not watch that game. I just remember my Twitter timeline blowing up, and I was watching some highlights afterwards. But what I have seen of Dame so far this season, I'm liking it. So Dame gets my last spot for me. All right. So full Dame time's actually the only good pick over here. Well, I'm happy I got your approval. No Fox for an All-Star ain't crazy. I agree. Yeah, I don't. And having the Clippers winning 60 going into this season, it wasn't 60 feels a little crazy. I might have gave you like 55. 60 does feel a little crazy. I knew they were going to be resting Paul George and Kawhi, but it's gotten a little bit better as of late, especially Paul George. He's been playing in more and more games on a more consistent basis. And Kawhi is slowly starting to ramp up a little bit more and more. But I still don't know if I don't know. I made a TikTok the other day. I never posted it because I was like, this seemed like haterish and it wasn't really like how I really fully felt. And I need more time to really sit and mull it over. But I'm kind of over the Clippers because, just like I said, I thought Kawhi would actually play basketball too. He's not. He's in and out of lineup, back and forth. It makes it so difficult, I think, for the other players, to get used to playing with and without a guy like Kawhi. Basically take everything that everybody in the NBA that has anywhere from ESPN media to me on YouTube and all the people in between, so all the big YouTubers, all the other real media members, everything. Take everything everybody was saying about what was going on with Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets when he was only could play away games and apply it to what Kawhi and the Clippers are going through. It's way too difficult for some role players to have to be able to adjust to get used to playing basketball with and without somebody of Kawhi Leonard caliber. Because when he is there, he go crazy and he's him. And I've seen moments where it's like, oh, okay, Kawhi does still have it. But like to go for one game when he is there into the next where it's a whole different starting lineup. Now you're missing 20 points a game. You're looking for that from other players. And players can get used to turning it on and then having to, dial it back. It's just a lot to ask from people. That's all. It's just a lot to ask. It's just a lot. I applied your story a while ago when you was talking about Kawhi's return and said Kawhi going to be top 2 and not 2. Hey, we might have all been wrong about Kawhi, bro. We might have all been wrong about him. Worst prediction, Clippers winning 60, Kings not being a play-in team, Wolves being the top 3 seed is a nasty prediction. I had them at play-in team, I believe. Maybe next week we'll do that. We got to look and see what the old predictions was because we're all over the place here. I swear to God, I've played more minutes than Kawhi this season. Oh, it's Nav from YouTube. What's good, my boy Nav? Somebody on TikTok asked opinions on the Miami Heat. If the season ends today, who would you be your MVP and why? Opinions of the Miami Heat is they're doing what I expected them to do, unfortunately, because I said all summer I did not expect them to be that good because they did not make any moves and they let PJ Tucker just go and did not do anything to replace any, I won't say offense from him, but the grit from him. And they didn't do anything to add offense to a team that desperately needed more offense. Like the Heat, they're not disappointed to me because I had low expectations for them. Like it's simple as that. It's tough. Should the Heat trade for Jay Crowder? I guess that would give you an undersized 4 who could be 5 for 8 from 3 one game and then 0 for 8 from 3 the next. Maybe, but that don't fix nothing for me. Personally, that don't fix nothing. Adding Drake Crowder to the Heat doesn't fix anything for me. That's all. Um, Range on YouTube as Hawk hardest challenge 1 through 7. Giannis, KD, Joel, Tatum, Curry, Luka, Jokic. Sheesh. All right. Honest, off the top of my head, Giannis, KD, Joel, Tatum, Curry, Luka, Jokic. Giannis. Can I do like Giannis, KD, Joel, Tatum, Curry, Luka, Jokic? Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's tough. If I rank them on how they're playing this season, I would go Giannis. They all playing so well, though. Like, legit, they're all playing so well. Giannis, Lucas, Jokic, Curry, KD, Tatum, Joel. I'm going to go Giannis. I'm going to go Giannis. Then we're going to go. It's tough for me, man. I don't even know if I'd have what's the name that high anymore. I'm going to go Giannis. Then I'm going to go Luka. Then I'm going to see. I don't even like putting Luka that high. I love Luka's game. I really, really do. I struggle with saying he's like one of the best players in the league right now. I feel like an old head maybe when Bron came in the league or something. And maybe it's something I need to unpack with myself. Maybe I got like this hater in me or something. But I really, really struggle with putting Luka in a top 3 category in the NBA. Seeding doesn't mean much to me. I get you, Rain, saying like the Mavs are a 4 seed. But because of how close the Western Conference is, seeding means nothing to me. They lose 2 games, they're the 8th seed. Like, that's how close the Western Conference is right now. And I am an appreciate greatness type guy. But Luka don't play defense at all. All right, I got it. Giannis, Jokic. Curry. Giannis, Jokic. I'm gonna stand on it. Y'all gonna call me a hater. Y'all gonna call me a homer. I really don't care at this point. I'm going to do Giannis, Jokic, and B, because that's really how I feel. And I'm standing on it. Then we're gonna go Tatum. We're gonna go KD, and then I'm going Curry. So what did I say? Giannis, Jokic, Joel. No, Luka, KD, Curry. Hey, y'all can say what y'all want. That's my list. That's my list, man. And it's really because y'all know me and I'm gonna hang my hat on it. At least I could be consistent. I value two-way play, man. I will always take into account two-way play. And there are some players who it's like, okay, maybe your offense does outweigh your two-way ability. But then there are some players who do everything you do on offense and will still play defense. So, you know what I mean? That's just me. That's just for me. Say what you want about it, but that's just like Jokic. Somebody might say, well, why got Jokic? Why? Jokic is one of the best rebounders in the NBA. And that's defense to me. You can play all amazing defense and you want. If you can't get a defensive rebound and end that possession, and the other team keep getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound, you're not playing good defense. I might be blinded by two-way play. I might be blinded by two-way play. But I will always value defense. That is the one thing you can count on when you pull up to Hawks Hoops. You're going to see somebody who really values two-way play. Yeah, we could do a Pirtle. It's been an hour and a half already. No, I get it. No. I'm not saying Luka don't rebound. Please don't get that mistaken. I was more so saying, because I've seen people have the conversation of why Jokic is so high, because people still claim Jokic don't play no defense. Luka will get a couple of boards. Luka's also like 6'9", though. You know what I mean? It was a couple of other stuff we wanted to talk about before we get up out of here. I realize we've been there live for an hour and a half, so I do appreciate y'all for rocking with the boy and staying with me. Couple of random things around the league that I wanted to talk about. That they dropped a midseason survey. I might do a video on it because I feel like we ain't. I feel like we ain't got enough time to also do the midseason survey. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see the midseason survey stuff. That's the one where like they actually ask the players who's the best player in the league and stuff like that. Like it's cool stuff to me. Put a 1 in the chat. Ain't that what they be doing? The streamers do 1s in the chat if you want to see it. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't want to see the midseason survey. And I might just do a separate video and you can watch it at your leisure. It's curious to me. If anything, I might just read it by myself. I haven't looked at it yet because I wanted to do it for content. But Ricky Rubio was back. He comes back tomorrow, Thursday night. It's his first game back since tearing his ACL back in December of 2021. It feels like forever ago. He was low-key having a really good season for the Cavs. That was like the first inkling to open up last season that I was like, keep your eye on the Cavs. They might actually low-key be nice. And then we see where they are at now. Ricky Rubio coming back, I'm not expecting him to come in there to be an absolute game changer for them, but I do think having a veteran, adding some depth to that guard spot will be great for them, and we'll see what he looks like because ACL is a legit thing, like it's a serious injury, but yes, re-signing Ricky was nice. And like I said, I'm not expecting him to wow me or do anything crazy, but it's just good depth. And although he's been playing a little bit better as of late, I know since you brought up LeVert, he's been playing better over the last couple of weeks. I want to get that out there before I say what I'm about to say. During a lot of the season, there were moments when it was like, all right, LeVert, like swing the rock. Like LeVert will let some questionable shot attempts fly from time to time. And because of that, I think it'll be good to have Ricky Rubio for sometimes be like, all right, LeVert, chill out. We need somebody who's going to settle our offense a little bit for that second unit. And I think Ricky Rubio can be a big piece of that. We talked about Steph Curry coming back. They lost to the Suns 125-113 last night. It was Damian Lee's revenge game. He had 22 points. He finally got his ring, though, so shout out to him. Dwayne Washington Jr., I got to talk about him. He had 21 last night against the Warriors. It feels like every time I tune in, and it really is because they got no depth. There's nobody there. So Dwayne Washington Jr. is getting a lot in burn. But I wanted to give him some love because whenever I do tune into the Suns, he be hitting some timely threes for them. He be playing some just with a lot of energy. He's just there. Whatever I see in these last couple of weeks, it ain't been that many good plays from the Suns. Let's keep it a beat. It ain't been that many good plays. But when I do see a good play, Dwayne Washington Jr. would be a part of it. Mikal Bridges had 26 points. Dario had 19. Like I said earlier, almost four people dropped 20. I don't know what the Warriors were doing defensively. Kevin Durant's going to miss at least 2 weeks. I asked this on TikTok. People telling me they're not worried about him. I'm a little worried about the Nets over this next 2-week stretch. It's mainly just because of how I was saying the Eastern Conference, just the NBA as a whole. The Parody NBA is so close. The Nets right now, they're number 2 in the East. Sure, absolutely amazing. They're 9-1 in their last 10. Absolutely amazing. But I mean, the Cavs are only 2 games behind them. They can easily drop the 5. You lose 6 games, you're near the 8th seed. Like, I'm very curious to see how these next 2 weeks go for them. They got 2 games at home. They play the Celtics, and then they play, I can't remember who they play after that. But then they go on a 5-game road trip before playing like 4 more games at home. So that 5-game road trip it might be tough for the Nets. Just because Kyrie is there, Ben Simmons is there, Nick Claxton has been playing great defense this season. Some people are trying to tell me, and especially in the Discord, that he's Defensive Player of the Year. Watanabe has been playing better. TJ Warren's been playing better. Like, they're not bad, but role players tend to shrink on the road. That's all I'm gonna say, and they're gonna miss that 30 points a game on 55% shooting. Like, they're going to miss that for sure. All right. VR Freak said do the survey, so we're gonna do the survey. I'm not doing nothing tonight. If I didn't do the survey, we wouldn't be doing nothing anyway. So let's look at the mid-season survey. So if you don't know what this is, Luka and Giannis or AD and Embiid would be nice. Luka and Anthony Davis would be a front. Probably would never happen though. Luka and Giannis or Luka and Giannis or AD or Embiid would be nice. That's what they're saying on TikTok. I'm sorry. I feel like I read that like a 5-year-old. I was really struggling to figure out what they were saying there. All right. NBA mid-season survey. If you don't know what this is, NBA media members share their opinions halfway point through the season. Why do I think I thought they percentage based on 30 votes for each question. Mid of the season, survey 30 reporters and columnists. Why did I think this was the player one? Why did I think the player mid-season survey came out? All right, maybe I'm tripping. Is this the what I'm looking for? Mid-season survey? Yeah, I mean, this is the mid-season survey. I just thought the players voted on this, not media members. It's all right. It's okay. Who are the top 10 best teams in the NBA right now? Okay, so first off, can y'all see this? Let me make this a little bit bigger for y'all so y'all can see this. Nah, it's the media survey. That's what I was saying. That's what I was like, it's the media survey. Do I want to do this on stream? I'm gonna run through it real quick because I'm still curious by it. You know what I mean? I think this type of stuff is interesting. All right. So the media members asked who the top best 10 teams in the NBA right now. The first thing that stuck out to me is very, very surprising. Is that the Clippers? Oh, well, the Clippers ended up in 6th place. They got 6th place votes. Oh, all right. Boston, number 1. Milwaukee's a consensus, I guess, number 2. Denver being number 3, I guess doesn't surprise me. But interesting after that is really split right here for Brooklyn. 40 people say they're number 1, but in 80. All right, I'm not as interested in this as I don't think. Team is poised to make a big second half run. Golden State Warriors are 43%. I can see that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Clippers, honestly, I do not think so. And the rest of the teams, I don't think so either. I think the rest of these teams are kind of going to stay on par with what they're doing. But Golden State, considering they're 8th in the West, granted, it's only 7.5 games back, but considering they're 8th in the West, they win 5 games, they're 3rd. I can see them going on a run. For sure. True contenders: Bucks, Celtics, Nuggets. Contenders: Nets, Pels, Warriors, Clippers, 76ers, Cavs, Grizzlies. I'm not mad at that range. I'm not mad at either of those. The true contenders or the contenders. Both of them make sense to me, range. Which team will represent the East in the NBA Finals? 57% say Boston. I think people are sleeping on Milwaukee. I like Boston a lot, but if I had to pick somebody, I'm still going with Milwaukee. I know a lot of people are telling me Milwaukee is not playing up to par and this, that, and the third, but I'm going with Milwaukee. Which team will represent the West in the Finals? They said the Clippers at 34%? And they were asked mid-season? So 34% of people said the Clippers are going to represent in the West. Well, 27% they said they're going to make a run. Their run is health, though. Whatever. NBA Finals winners, Boston at 30%, Milwaukee at... Yo, the Clippers being in here is shocking to me. Best game of the season so far. Luka's... Not Donovan 71? Got 13%? I'm not mad at it. I'm just surprised. I'm not mad at it. I'm just surprised. Best play of the season. Luka's off rebound, yes. Aaron Gordon's and-1 dunk over Landry Shaman on Christmas. Zion's 360 over Phoenix. De'Aaron's half-court game with Orlando. Now, this is nasty. Donovan Mitchell's got votes, but not enough to... See, NBA media, man. NBA media be making me confused sometimes. I think my mouse just died. Kuzma had a game winner. His value became high already, but we lost that slim, so our chances of getting excited have freshman with courage jump shots. I'm not as interested in this as I thought. We're going to be making a hard turn. It's not as excited as I thought it was going to be. I really thought this was the player one. All right. Shout out to the NBA media. I don't always agree with y'all anyway. I really thought that was the player one. I don't really I'd be caring what the media be thinking, but not necessarily when it comes to like them voting on stuff, because y'all gonna vote for stuff anyway. If anything, all this does is give us maybe a preview of who they think's gonna win MVP. So maybe let me just see that, because they do have awards down here, right? So media. I don't know why we on this page. Real quick, the only thing I think that might actually be interesting here, media does pick awards, obviously, right? Media members get awards. So it's interesting to me, halfway through the season, it's only 30 media members they polled, but to me, it's at least interesting to see who's like leading in their eyes for these media awards that they're going to be voting on. So if the season ended today, Luka probably wins MVP. Also surprising that Jokic is number 2, which means he could easily be a 3-time MVP, which would be crazy historic. I'm really surprised to see Giannis and Jason Tatum only getting 7% of the votes, considering how high they started the season with. Rookie of the Year, Paolo, that's no question. Depoy, this doesn't surprise me as much. I think Brooke was leading the league leading to start. We talked about this in the Discord. It's got to be Jaren Jackson Jr. for me. 6 Man of the Year. It cannot be Jordan Poole. I'm be sick of his Jordan Poole. He started too many games. He's not all of them, but am I tripping? Maybe I'm thinking of a different season. Either or, all I'm saying is, to me, Jordan Poole's not 6 Man of the Year. And honestly, who I would have as 6 Man, I don't even really see on this list. I wanted to go Benedict Mathurin. He's kind of, I won't say fallen off, but cooled off a little bit from his hot start. I can see Malcolm Brogdon. I can see Christian Wood. I'm going to throw Bobby Portis in the mix. That's kind of who I'm rooting for 6 Man of the Year. Most improved, Lauri Markkanen. This is kind of where I'm leaning. I know everybody thinks Shea is the front runner, but I'm kind of leaning towards Lauri as well. Jacques Vaughn for Coach of the Year, I'm not mad at. Willie Green for Coach of the Year. And Joe Mazzulla, I'm not mad at either. I'm not mad at none of these. I forgot they got the Clutch Player of the Year award. And yeah, I guess that makes sense. It'd be Luka Doncic. All right. This has been the longest live in probably a month. Let's play some Purtle. I'm still trying to understand your obsession with Malachi. We're gonna do it though. We'll do Malachi. The problem is I know nothing about Malachi Brandon in terms of his physicals. Forward in the Western Conference that's older. I'm just going to start with... We can do Kuzma. Holy. Wow. It's not Kuzma though. Who's the older forward that's on? Mm, that's 6'9" though. So it's not it is Denny. Good look. We might have got there eventually. Denny's way too young. My fault. Denny's way too young. I did not know Denny was that young. I'm a Wizards casual. He's older. My first thought went obviously uh Porzingis Tingus, but obviously it can't be him because he's taller than 6'9". Rui Hachimura is older than Kyle Kuzma or younger than Kyle Kuzma. I don't know if Rui's older or younger than Kuzma off the top of my head. Let's see. Rui 6'9" and 24. I figured he was younger. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't name the whole Wizards roster. Who's on their roster that's old? How many forwards y'all got? Taj is over there. Look, hey, once again, Pirtle will make you feel like a casual because I forgot Taj was over there. The Wizards have a nasty roster. I want the Wizards to blow it up so bad. Like, let me just get this off my chest. Since before we head out of here, I know I said we was about to leave. There's a couple of things I want to talk about before we leave. Just a couple. Because next week I want to do something different, and I already wrote this down for this week, so let me go ahead and get it off my chest. We got something different for next week. Because next week I want to do I'll open up Discord Discord's loading while I try to get this off my chest. I think I want to do like some mid-season grades. That would give me opportunity to kind of talk about every team and see, even if it's fast. I'm gonna try to do it as fast as possible. Whenever I say I'm gonna do something fast, it's never fast. Like, anyway. NBA trade deadline is Thursday, February 9th. That's 4 weeks from now. So far, we've seen one trade in the regular season. Celtics traded to the Spurs for cash considerations and to free up a roster spot. A lot of teams aren't making trades because they feel like they can win. Or they feel like they can win. Or at the very least, they feel like they can be a play-in team. And we've been talking about it all night on stream. I feel like we all know this by now. It's well documented. For example, just take a look at a team like the Raptors right now. Any of these teams, the Raptors, the Bulls, the Hawks, all three of these teams. Yes, two of them technically are in the play-in, but you sneeze tomorrow and one of them could be the 11th seed and it could be swapped, right? So if you look at a team like the Raptors, in theory, you can say, okay, we are 11-6. We go on a 5-game win streak. We have a good 2 weeks. We could be a 6 seed in theory, technically, sure. Or you just lose like 4 more games, and you could be towards the bottom of the conference and actually end the Wemby sweepstakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I want to say we agreed that we was gonna call you RJ. I'm almost certain. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain. What's good, bro? Thanks for pulling up to the stream. So, like, when I look at the Raptors, when I look at the Wizards, when I look at, like, the Bulls even, the Hawks even, you go out west, the Jazz, keep it a bean with you, the Blazers even. The Timberwolves kind of. I don't know what anybody wants from them out other than potentially D'Lo. Like I don't think anybody wants anything from them. The Suns even. I think there are some teams that like I would like to see be like, you know what, this ain't it. We don't got it. We hey, RJ is cool. I thought so. I just wasn't sure. I was hoping I remember that right. Um, and I don't think it's necessarily teams are overvaluing their players. And I get it. Like it's a valid thought to think maybe if we become buyers, we can pick somebody up. Like the Raptors, I know they're disappointing. I talked about them for 10 minutes at the top of the stream. They are disappointing. They aren't as good as a lot of people expected them to be, myself being one of them. I'm extremely disappointed with the Raptors. But it's not crazy to think if the Raptors win, if they go 7-3 over the next 10, they could be a 6 seed. That's just how close it is. But if they go 4-6, they could be like a 12 seed, 13 seed even. It's just the East the NBA as a whole is so close. And there's a couple of teams I think just need to make trades. We're going to rapid fire through these. I'm not picking on these teams. I just think they'd benefit from making some trades and just moving into a different direction because I don't see them. I was about to say I don't see them winning a chip, but I literally had this conversation last summer with that. And it sounds dumb and it sounds millennially and participation trophy award, but winning a chip isn't the sole goal for every NBA team. It's just not. It can't be. It cannot be the sole goal for every NBA team. NBA teams have to have other goals other than winning a chip, or 29 teams are failures every year, and owners should just sell their franchises because they don't know what they're doing. Anyway, so the Raptors, number one team, not the number one team, but the first team I have written down that I think should maybe not blow it up, but decide to move some things. I know everybody wants to move Fred VanVleet. I know this. Everybody wants to move Fred. Like it's cool. Fred for Maxey. Nah, listen, RJ. As the resident Sixers fan here, there is the way the Sixers value Maxey. Unless you got like Steph or Luka on the table, we're not trading him for no guard in the league. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's very few guards in the league that we trade Maxey for. And Fred is definitely not one of them. But I mean, like, when I look at the Raptors roster, when I think about like just what they have, what they're doing right now, there's no offense on this roster. There is, but it's like ugly offense. We're going to play amazing defense, and then we're going to force we're going to force turnovers. We're going to get rebounds. We're going to get out and running. We're going to score on the open court on a fast break. It worked sometimes, but and Raptors couldn't end up making the playoffs. But when the game slows down in the playoffs, I guarantee you the Raptors are going to be ugly to watch in the first round. They're going to be a quick first round exit because when the game slows down, they can't do anything. So blow it up. Chicago Bulls. Y'all been looking nice lately. Y'all low-key been catfishing people. Y'all been 6-4 in your last 10. Zach LaVine's looking good. I just put him in my all-star reserves. But very similar situations to the Toronto Raptors. If I hear another Chicago Bulls fan tell me, wait till Lonzo gets back. Lonzo ain't walking through that door, my boy. He not. He just not. He not. And if he do, I don't think that's changing anything for y'all. Vucevic is an unrestricted free agent this summer. I know y'all got Zach locked up, but I mean, flip Vooch. Flip him. Cause he's not extending with y'all. I don't think he's gonna re-sign with y'all. Flip him for something. The man just said shout out to the 6-Man podcast. It's a fan run Orlando Magic podcast. They had Vucevic on them this week. I tuned in for a little bit. And he literally said, I mean, I'd like to play in Orlando again. Send him back to Orlando. Washington Wizards. Pascal's ISO is gross. Washington Wizards. I know Bradley Beal has missed time. I even know y'all started out looking good. I think one of the first streams of the year, I said, "Oh, Wizards is surprising me," and I was like, "Everybody, y'all, rightfully so," said, "Hawk, calm down, this catfish." And I know Brad's missed a lot of time, but even when he has played, y'all still ain't winning games. Y'all 10-14 when Bradley Beal plays. Y'all 10-14 when Bradley Beal plays. Kuzma wants to get a bag this season. Now he ain't gonna get a crazy bag, but he's an unrestricted free agent, and I guarantee you he's at least getting 4 years, $80 million. Now y'all have the bread for it. But what does that really do for y'all if y'all give him that money besides lock y'all salary cap up to be very mid? Y'all might be below mid. Rory Hachimura is an unrestricted free agent. He's either unrestricted or restricted. I can't remember, but he not rightfully so, but he's somebody gonna pay him. So the Wizards gonna be a luxury tax team that's trash? Blow it up. Pistons. They doing the right thing. They rebuilding. Cade's out. They sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. They is, front and center for the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. But trade Bojan. Release him. Let him go. Give him up to a team that's trying to do something. And honestly, you probably gonna get a pick or two out of it. You might get 2 picks or get a pick and maybe a young player to continue to build with. That's a very, very good trade piece. Trade him. The Utah Jazz. It was a fun start. It was fun while it lasted. It's time to pack it up. Y'all came out the gate surprising everybody. I think y'all were one of the biggest surprises of the season. But right now, y'all the 10 seed. Y'all playing team. Go ahead and drop a little lower so y'all can get a bigger higher draft pick. Go ahead and drop. Y'all not doing nothing. Y'all not. Clarkson is an unrestricted free agent this summer. I think that's a piece y'all can move. Personally, you can keep everything else if you really want to. Like Sexton, keep him. Laurie, keep him. Conley, low key, that's a movable piece that I think that can help a couple teams. Go get some picks. Go get Victor. Let's stop playing. Suns. Now the Suns are a funny one for me because the Suns, if they already knew they wanted to trade DeAndre Ayton, regardless of what's going on right now, right? Then I would say now is the time to trade him. However, if the Suns were like, no, we want to keep Ayton, we had that rough summer with him, but we believe we're past that. We want to move forward with Ayton, then don't trade him. Because if the only reason the Suns would trade him now was because of how bad it's going to look like a panic sell. I think you're going to live to regret it. JJ Redick was talking about on his, y'all know I be plugging podcasts that I listen to. It ain't a week that go by where we don't talk about JJ Redick or Kevin O'Connor. It just ain't. JJ was talking about when he was in his 5th year in Orlando. The Magic were just coming off their finals run, where they went to the finals, and then everybody got sick. We only had 7 guys. We lost like 5 to 7 games in a row. The owner, the front office started panic selling, moving a bunch of pieces around, just broke the core up. They were never the same. Then Dwight gets injured. Then Dwight asks for a trade, and the team just falls apart within like a year and a half from that, panic selling trade. That was like when we picked up, was that the year where we got like Vince Carter and stuff? Like I hated that trade. That was definitely big panic energy. So my point for the Suns is if you know y'all already wanted to trade him, which I kind of think y'all do want to trade him because y'all didn't even want to give him the contract that he got in the first place. Y'all just ain't want to let him walk to the Pacers for nothing. Now's the time. Go ahead and ship him out. Because the Suns, to me at least, don't want to play with DeAndre Ayton. They don't want to play with a player like DeAndre Ayton. They want rim running, defending the basket, defending the rim. They don't want to play with Ayton. Like, they don't. They just don't. They don't want to post him up. He's always complaining he's not getting enough touches. Him and Monty are always going back and forth. If they want to make it work, I think they could, because call me crazy once again, when the Suns are healthy, the Suns are really good. Now, granted, yes, is Chris Paul aging? Yeah, he is. Right before our eyes. But also, the age looks even more exasperated because we're asking him to do so much without Devin Booker on the court. Devin Booker is that engine's offense. Is that offense's engine. Like he is. He's everything for them. So, Suns, don't panic sell DeAndre Ayton, But if you were already thinking about doing it, which I think you are, now is the time. Spurs, give up Jakob Poeltl. He's probably the best underrated center in the league right now. Almost averaging a double-double. I want to say it's like 11-9 or 9-11. I can't remember which way. I got him flopped up. But he's an unrestricted free agent this summer. Get something for him. He can help out a team. Now, granted, because he's an unrestricted free agent this summer, I don't know how much a team's going to be willing to give up for him. But, like, the Nuggets need a backup center. He might be worth a pick. Put him on the block. Put him on the block. All right. I had to get that off my chest. I had all that written down. I had it off my chest before we got out of here. Let's pull up. Discord open up yet, finally? Discord did open up. Although a lot of people said they sent their... Let me read this real quick. On TikTok, they saying Kuz is at least a first-round pick and a player. I agree. Spilso asked, have I seen The Wire? No, I have not seen The Wire. And then he said, and then Hubert asked Hawk, did you know Brook Lopez has some more career points than Bill Russell? I didn't know they had more career points, but I did know Brook Lopez was the leading scorer for the Nets as a franchise. All right. Y'all said y'all dropped your All-Stars in the chat. All right. So let's see what you got here. Malachi Brannon. I just hate how Discord... Why does Discord do this? Why is everything so small on Discord, bro? If I open it in a browser, does it make it any different? Oh, yeah. All right. I like that a little bit better. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. I'm mad I really went through, clicked this. I said, let me make it bigger so y'all can see it. And he got the whole Raptors starting five in here. Y'all be getting me. Y'all be getting me. All right, Guru. Let's try Gurus. I'm assuming Guru took his a little more seriously. Let's try Gurus. Let's try Gurus. Austin Reeves All-Star easily. Paulo's better. Nah, that's crazy. Luka, SGA, James, Marketing, and Jokic. It's not bad. That's not bad. Marketing and Jokic. Marketing starting does surprise me. I don't know if he will start in the real one, but that does surprise me a little bit. And then Mitchell, Brown, Embiid, Giannis, and Tatum. Oh, so you did put Brown and Tatum in the start lineup together, which I'm also still not mad at because I think I said I'm not surprised when I saw the All-Star ballots come out. I was like, I'm not surprised Kyrie is leading. I do think he's probably the most popular guard in the Eastern Conference. And then, so I think Kyrie might get in on the strength of the fan votes. But the reason for me personally, think Donovan Mitchell's going to be his running mate, I think Donovan Mitchell's going to get in on the strength of the player and media votes. Players also really respect Jaylen Brown too, so he could make it, but I would be very surprised if he did. Downton Jr. in the starting five. And who's starting five? Mega VR. All right. Why can't I? Unlimiteds was East. Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and KD Giannis. Also put today's votes in. Nice. Reserves, Kyrie, Harden, Jimmy, Pascal, and Embiid. I think Trae Young's a wild card for a lot of people. I wouldn't be surprised if Trae Young's not on the All-Star team. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised if Trae Young's not if he's not on an All-Star team. For me right now, it's 10 p.m. I'm on the East Coast. 10 p.m. on the East Coast. East Coast of America, obviously. I feel like that should be obvious, but the internet's a global thing, you know? Western Conference, Curry, Luka, LeBron, AD, Jokic. I'm not bad at that. Pascal, the center. That's also my problem with the Raptors. Why is Pascal Siakam their center, bro? Y'all need... I'm done with the Raptors, bro. I said this summer y'all need a center. I also said this summer the Heat need a center. Look at the two teams not playing well because y'all ain't got no center. But, you know, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Don't listen to Hawk. I'm just a dude with the mic, bro. I'm just a dude with the mic. Josh, Shea, Zion, Laurie, Sabonis. I'm not mad at that. Unlimited says doesn't matter. It's 3 4s that include centers. That's also true. Malachi Brannon, today's votes. Sir, why is it the starting lineup for the Raptors? Y'all do have Koloko, but he's like, and I know he's 7 feet tall. He don't play like, I mean, when I watch the Raptors, I mean, I guess he is. He is, but he ain't. Like, I don't understand how to explain it. In theory, yes, Koloko is a traditional center. He's 7 feet tall. He be in the paint. Like, he be in the paint. Maybe I just need to see more from him. Maybe he's not as good as I want him to be. At least not for what the Raptors are trying to do. He's not as good as y'all want or need him to be. I'll put it that way. Because, I mean, I know he's not like a focal part of your offense by any means or anything like that. But I mean, y'all asking a lot from a rookie. Y'all is. Like, y'all got one now. But for what y'all trying to do, I'm not putting my faith in Christian Koloko to be my center for a team that's trying to, and in my mind, I thought, trying to make deep playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Embiid, Giannis, they gonna eat that man alive. You feel like, I don't know. No, I know he's playing. That's what I'm saying. He's playing. He plays 20 minutes a game. Well, he plays 16 minutes a game. I be watching the Raptors, but that's my point. Y'all don't have a center who y'all can rely on consistently. Like, when y'all finish games, y'all finishing games with Pascal at center. When y'all going on stretches, it's Pascal at center. I know Koloko get his burn and he get his time and he be in there a little 15 minutes a game. But 4 and 3.5 is not what you want out of a center who's supposed to be a center for a team that's trying to at least be in the second round of the playoffs. At least that's what I thought y'all was trying to do. But y'all didn't do nothing this summer, so y'all not going to be in the second round of the playoffs. Y'all need a center and not a rookie. Y'all need a center that's not a rookie. I'm not trying to seem like I'm hating on Koloko. Like, I've seen the promise. Like, I've seen moments where I was like, oh, all right, that's a nice block, or, you know, some good movement from him. Like, he can move. I like that. Just for right now, for at least in my mind, a team that's trying to win now. When I ask you who your center is, Koloko should not be your answer for a team that's trying to win now. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. Close to Philly. I'm in Jersey though. Close to Philly, but I'm in Jersey. He do got that dog in him. That's the thing. Like, he not bad. Like, when I watch it, the energy is there. The defensive IQ is there. He fit this rangy 7-footer scheme y'all trying to run. But he might not be good enough to help you out for a deep playoff run until like 3 years from now. Y'all want to be mid for 3 years? Y'all gonna worry about re-signing people? Like, it's just a whole lot that goes into it that I'm just like, Oh, man. When was this dagger against the Suns? Because we just talked about how the Suns is trash. So, is it him? Is it? If it wasn't a dagger when they was fully healthy, it ain't a him moment, because the Suns is mid. And y'all should have beat them anyway. Like, the Suns ain't good right now. If it was any of these last 10, 15, when Booker been out, it ain't that impressive to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, man. How many we got in the stream right now? We got 6 in the stream. Oh, we got 9. I was about to say, we better have more likes than people in the stream, but we is. Y'all rocking with the kid tonight. Y'all rocking with the kid tonight. Let me see. Don't matter. He hit it. I mean, hey, what do I always say here? You gotta play the people in front of you, right? Oh, man. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna head out of here. We got through everything I wanted to get through. Next week, I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do. So All Stars in 4 or 5 weeks. All Star is. Let me see. They're gonna announce who the winners. Who they're gonna announce the actual All Star teams on February 2nd. All Star itself is, I think, the week after that. So I think the plan would be, I think I'm gonna do next week grades for the Eastern Conference, like mid-season grades. Everybody doing them right now. It'll give me an opportunity to talk about everybody. Mid-season grades for the Eastern Conference. The week after that, mid-season grades for the Western Conference. And then by then we'll have the All-Stars out and hopefully some trades we'll talk about, at least for the next 2 weeks. I got a plan. It might change after that, but just to let you know what to expect the next couple of weeks. Paulo's better. Say W Stream. Appreciate you, bro. Dang, I missed it. Whatever Range said, I had a different window up. Now, wait a minute. Hughie, good night, bro. Thanks for pulling up. I don't remember seeing you in the chat, but appreciate you pulling up to the stream, bro. Coloco is a starting center on a championship team and a middle school league in Ohio. All right. Appreciate y'all for pulling up to the stream as always. If you're new around here, it happens every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Watch the Rewatch Gang. Y'all know me. I'm going to chop this up probably. I don't know when it's going to get chopped up because it's not getting chopped up tonight. I don't feel like doing any editing after this. I mean, I enjoyed the 2-hour stream. I ain't going to lie to you. But when it's a 2-hour stream, the last thing you want to do after that is rewatch the stream and start chopping it up for edits. I need a higher editor, but this doesn't make any money. I just do it for the stream. So I don't think we're doing that yet. Quick thoughts on Claxton. I love him. I like him a lot. I think he's playing very, very well. I think he fits what the Nets are trying to do at the moment. But I do think they would have benefited from getting a stronger center for the playoffs because Nick Claxton will die against Joel Embiid and Giannis and even Bam low. Gosh darn it. I figured that was about to happen. Hold on, y'all. Even Bam low key can give hold on. Let me see. There we go. Like even Bam can probably give Claxton some work. Like he's good. He's a good rim protector to an extent. He's good on drives. He's solid in the pick and roll situations from time to time. I think the Nets, while they are making strides defensively, still have a lot to be desired on the defensive end of the ball, considering after Claxton, if you ask me, their best defender right now, in the paint at least, paint defender, is Kevin Durant. And you don't want your second best defender to be Kevin Durant. That's just my opinion. And yes, I know Ben Simmons is there. That's why I said paint defender. Rate this trade real quick. Vooch to the Nets for Joe Harris, Cam Thomas, and a first. It's an overpay for the. I don't necessarily. I don't know if I call it an overpay or underpay. I just wouldn't do the trade. The Nets don't need an offensive center. The Nets need a defensive center, in my opinion. Vooch is an offensive center, and he's not even that amazing at that. He ain't really going to stretch the floor as well as I think a lot of people want him to. So no, for the Nets, nah. If the Nets make any move for a center, it's either it's a young center. No, not young, but it's like a defensive center. Obviously, he's not available, but like a JaVale McGee, a Kevon Looney, maybe a 8 years younger Bismack Biyombo, a younger Clint Capella, like that style of center. But it's all good. I couldn't make the stream earlier, just hopped in. Well, appreciate you for hopping in when you did. Well, when's the next one? So streams one day we'll get to 2 a week. It's just a big commitment for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. A Christian Coloco is But streams happen. Hey, W TikToker, appreciate that. The streams happen every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. God, I'm really crying after that one. Streams happen every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I like, what is it called? Dual stream, also on TikTok, but I don't really be over there that much. I mean, like, the stream is up on TikTok, but I pay attention to the YouTube chat more. I try to look at the TikTok chat, but sometimes I miss stuff. If you want to like really interact, pull up to the YouTube chat. I'm just being honest with you. All right, y'all. I think I'm out of here. I will see y'all next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I gotta at least edit some TikToks from this. So I guess I'm about to open up Premiere and get that edited in. Thanks for pulling up, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. I'm out. Peace.